Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Jeb.
And we're here to talk to you about our little event called the Ice Cream Social Experiment and why we think it's pretty important.
But we begin today by acknowledging the Bunurong people, the traditional custodians, the land on which we meet today, and we pay our respects to their elders past and present. We extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples watching this panel. Sovereignty was never ceded. It always was and always will be Aboriginal land.
And with that said, we would like to talk to you about our cool panel.
Today we're talking about the Ice Cream Social Experiment and how we've made it an inclusive event for not only people of the LGBTQIA+ community, but for those people who don't drink alcohol.
For whatever reason, you don't like it, don't want to, can't, personal religious reasons.
That's fine. We don't judge you and we've got an event for you.
That's right.
So Tom.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about why we started it?
Because I like puns. Too much for my own good. We happened to be talking to a few of our friends in the indie game dev community at the end of PAX, when we sort of just getting shooed out of the convention building, about, you know, parties that people had been to where people had, like, seen each other and all that sort of stuff. And there was a huge contingent of them saying that everything was at bars. And quite a few of those people we spoke to don't like to drink and really didn't feel very comfortable in that environment. So if they did go, they didn't really get anything out of it, per se. And we'll save the other part of that till a little bit later in the conversation. The abbreviation of CLMs. More later. But having talked to those people and realizing that there wasn't actually an option, we were talking about it amongst ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I said it could be like any kind of party. It could be a tea party. It could be an ice cream social. And then I said, wait. It will be called the Ice Cream Social Experiment, and we shall serve ice cream, among other things. And so now here we are. This was in 2017. Their first Ice Cream Social Experiment was in 2018. Yeah. Getting official MIGWA billing the following year in 2019, and then COVID.
Yes. So unfortunately we haven't been able to run it for the past 2 years. We were going to do a blanket fort version this year, but
as you can see where we're recording from right now,
unfortunately due to some personal reasons, we weren't able to bring you on this year, so this is the next best thing.
We have not abandoned Blanket Fort.
No.
It is put away in the linen cupboard. Simply waiting. We do want to talk about why things like a Blanket Fort event. Why?
Yeah. What does this add to our inclusivity?
I'm glad you asked, Jeb. So, things like intolerances and prejudices are often things that are learned over a long period of time. The exposure to people with negative opinions or media representation. It's not great. We all know it. You know, people don't start out like that. We start out as just everybody's everybody, and then slowly we learn to put people in categories. So what we aim to do with things like putting up Blanket Fort is take ourselves back to a mentality where that didn't matter. What mattered is that you've got a Blanket Fort and it's cool and you want to be in it, and it's got sheepies, it's got ice creams, and it's got tasty snacks on the ceiling.
And it's a point of comfort. It's we actually built ourselves a blanket fort in the midst of our lockdown. I don't even know what number it was.
Several, in fact.
In 2020, and we kept it up for about 6 months.
Yep.
And it really helped with our mental health, just having this, like, place closed off from everything else where COVID didn't exist in the blanket fort. Pressure didn't exist in the blanket fort. It was just a safe space, and we had hoped to bring that this year. But we still encourage you all to make a blanket fort at home.
And we will be posting up our blanket fort tutorials in future. But yeah, it became a place that was just the sole purpose of everything in that space was comfort and just being in it. So we were going to bring it to you, and we still will. It does lead us to one of the aspects of the ice cream social experiment, which is one thing that I really like that we do, is our chill out space.
Yes.
The chill out space is just, it's a separate room.
So if you've been to the ice cream social experiment, you know what the chill out room is. It's a separate room that is still connected to the main area, and we have a drawing table. And it's a sit-down space that holds a very limited amount of people. Comfortably. And
then, you know, if things are beginning too much, or you want to talk to someone in a bit more of a quieter space, then that's been afforded to you. Yeah. You don't have to be constantly out schmoozing and socializing and glad-handing, because it's overwhelming.
It is. And Tom and I have ADHD, so we are very aware of neurodiversity and things like sensory processing disorder, and things like that come along with conditions like ASD. So having a space where people can go and chill, get away from the lights and the noise, not that we have a lot in the way of that either, was really, really important for us to extend that safe space, our very own blanket fort, if you will, at the event, so that there would be that feeling of comfort and limited social interaction. So you knew there would only be up to, say, 10 people in that space. There was something to do. There is, no overhead lighting. It was very, very relaxed, and people love it.
It's like a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I mean, if the whole event was like that, it wouldn't be the same.
No.
But because it is there, it does afford that possibility for you to say to yourself, this is a lot, I just need a break.
Yeah, and I would highly recommend at any event, add in a chill out space or a quiet space, somewhere where people can go to basically get away from the sensory overload. Social interactions can be a lot, and giving people a safe space to go is very, very important.
It is. It really is. I do want to just say, with the ice cream social experiment, the tagline that I have said dozens, if not hundreds of times at this point, it's the ice cream social experiment. It's a non-alcoholic social networking event for game developers during Melbourne International Games Week. So it is an industry event primarily. We are looking at expanding it to board game community as well, which should be great. But the key to it is there just isn't alcohol.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's the biggest component. One of the other sort of things that we found was very useful, the first year we ran it on the Thursday of Migwa, so the day before PAX. But we actually found that people were meeting up with people that they didn't know and forming really good friendships and industry connections. And so we moved it to the Sunday, the first Sunday of Migwa in year 2, so that people could make those connections at the start of Migwa and be able to have a friend. So and
it seemed to make a real difference to a lot of people.
Absolutely. It meant that people could catch up at GCAP. They could catch up at, Parallels. They could catch up at the Women in Non-Binary lunch.
Just walking from event to event, from talk to talk, from panel to panel.
So it gave people, especially people who were interstate, a chance to make a buddy.
Yeah.
To get through the event, all of the Migwa events, right up to, Megadev at the end, where if they both did go, then you would have a non-drinking buddy as well. So that's something that we really aim to continue as a way to have people connect and form these reliant buddy systems and friendships as well.
Even if it's just a familiar face.
Makes all the difference.
It really does. And that is not to say that we are anti-drinking.
No.
We don't hate alcohol. We're not teetotalers or anything like that.
We are also known for brewing our own ciders and ciders.
And mead.
And meads.
But you don't need alcohol, beer, mead, wine, champagne, cocktails, or anything like that to have fun. And the reason why these things become the social norm is because you go and meet people up at the bar, right? Because that's where all these events are held. But there's not actually anything that anyone has ever said that these things have to be drinking events.
No.
I mean, they've morphed to become drinking events, and Australian drinking culture is...
That's its own thing.
Yeah. And corporate and business drinking culture is its own other thing. But the reason why people drink at these things is because, one, it's expected. Mm-hmm. Two, it's a social lubricant.
Absolutely.
So if we remove the first thing, expecting to drink, you just need a social lubricant. Mm-hmm. And you know what is a great social lubricant? Damn it. Almost worked. Ice cream! Because you get that memory of running up to the ice cream truck when you were a kid with your friends and going, I want the one that looks like a Ninja Turtle! Or whatever. Because it was exciting, it was fun, and it was something that you connected with people, regardless of who they were. If you were down at the beach, a hot sunny day, and the Mr. Insert name here van drove up.
Generic ice cream van.
Hey, Toby. Good morning. About 50 kids would be running like Usain Bolt with pocket money or shrapnel stuffed in their Speedos in order to buy whatever iced confection they could. And all of you were friends instantly.
Yep.
Why did it stop?
Why did it?
Why?
Just because we grew up.
So what if we took away the fact that we're grown-ups? What if we did it in a blanket fort? An inherently childish thing to do. Really comfortable, though.
It is.
And it has very good recording acoustics. I've been told.
Yes.
But yeah, like, why not bring it back?
So, Tom.
Yes, Jed?
Who provides our ice cream?
Cows? Well, actually, that's not true either. So we get our ice cream exclusively from Ben & Jerry's.
Yes, so we have an official partnership with them. And the Ice Cream Social Experiment serves exclusively Ben & Jerry's only.
Yes.
But why?
Well, Jeb, I'm glad you asked. There's a few reasons why. So Ben & Jerry's is one of the handful of companies that we know has ethical treatment of their animals. All the cows that produce milk for Ben & Jerry's are part of the Happy Cow program, I suppose we'd call it. Yeah. To make sure they have a good lifestyle, they're well cared for, and they're not abused. So that you can, even if you do have moral objections to the meat and dairy industry, which I totally understand, it's objectionable. There is some little comfort in that, but also Ben & Jerry's do offer vegan alternatives. Very good vegan alternatives.
Yes. Which not only covers off vegan, it also helps people who are lactose intolerant. Mm-hmm. So even if you're lactose intolerant, you can still come and eat some really good ice cream.
Oh, yes. And we make sure we've got plenty for everybody.
We always have leftovers, so you can take a pint home. One of the other things that I really like is I'm fructose intolerant, so I can't eat a lot of standard ice cream.
Because they're all sweetened with glucose syrups.
Ben & Jerry's is not.
They use sugar.
I am very excited to be able to eat the ice cream at my own event.
Good. Plus, even though they don't actually advertise it necessarily, several of their ice creams, the vegan ones as well as the normal ones, are also gluten-free, which means that people with celiac, who are celiac, I should say, also have that option.
Yep.
We had last year, well, the last time it was run, I should say last year, because time.
Anyway, 2019.
2019, along before times. In 2019, we also partnered with 8-Bit Burger, who provided us with some really good tater tots. Potato gems.
Potato gems.
But it was really fun. Like, there was such like a... It's just like, it's not chips.
No.
Which was the thing, because everyone just went, oh my God, potato gems.
Yes. Because we also noted in our inaugural year, we didn't have any savoury food, so...
It's all sweet.
It did become a bit of a sugar overload.
We learned a few things from that, yeah.
We did. So 8-Bit Burger provided us with 3 different versions. So there was a vegetarian option, a loaded option, and then a vegan option. So again, anybody could eat it.
It's true. And I found out that I neglected to think about how much heat energy would be stored in my car whilst transporting it. And I was so hot. It was so hot in that car. There was hundreds, dozens of kilos of hot potato gems in the back of a car. And me.
Yeah, it was very warm.
It was very warm. It turned out great. It was delicious.
Everyone ate them. I don't think we had any left over.
No, there was not. And the great thing about it, and this is a big part of what we do with the Ice Cream Social Experiment, is that everything is just fair game.
Yeah.
It's there to be eaten. When you pay for your ticket,
as soon as you walk in the door,
everything is yours.
Everything is yours. So one of the other companies that we partnered with in year 1 was Sobar Beverages.
Fantastic initiative.
Absolutely. So they're an Indigenous company that create alcohol-free beers that are flavoured with like traditional Australian flavours in mind.
Bush pepper and...
Yeah, so really, really nice. A fantastic initiative. It's they created Sobar to help with alcohol and addiction in Indigenous communities. And whilst we love Sobar and think that, their beers, their alcohol-free beers are amazing.
Very pleasant.
Did not mix very well with ice cream.
No.
So unfortunately, we have had to end that relationship as part of the Ice Cream Social Experiment.
For now.
Because
the Ice Cream Social Experiment is an ever-evolving thing.
It is.
It is an experiment every time we run it. We do actually have several others lined up already.
Yes.
For instance, I've said it a lot already, Blanket Fort.
But one of our continuing drink partners is Brunswick Aces. So they do a botanical distillation, which is sort of an alcohol-free gin.
Yeah, it's gin, but they cook the alcohol out of it and are left with the flavour.
The botanicals.
Yeah.
And they are amazing.
Yeah.
They're
really good.
We created a series of drinks. Not mocktails.
No.
Not anything that was pretending to be a cocktail, but drinks that enhance the flavour of these botanicals, which
we paired with things like artisanal sodas,
yes,
or fruit juices, or kombuchas. We
didn't do kombucha last year. We did kombucha first year, and again, didn't really mix with ice cream very well. But Brunswick Aces have become a really good supporter of us, and again, people could just line up and get a mixed drink.
Yeah, and I suppose that's really what it was. It was a mixed drink.
Yeah,
it's like it's like a cordial or something. Like
fancy adult cordial.
It basically is
all part of the ticket.
And the other thing is, like, drinks don't have to have alcohol in them to be fun.
No.
You put a silly straw in something and it's great.
That's it.
You put an umbrella in any drink and it makes it a party. But,
But we don't use umbrellas because they're terrible wastage and not sustainable.
However, we did have spiders.
Yes.
A DIY spider station in 2019. So you could get a soup of any flavour of the Ben & Jerry's ice creams that we were serving. Take it, wander on over, get your cup, get a soda, whatever combination you felt like. And you could experiment. And it's, you know what? Making spiders is fun. And they're tasty.
Yeah.
So it allowed people to do that for themselves too. Like, it was an engagement thing.
Yeah.
Like having the drawing paper in the chill out space, it is something to do. It's giving that social lubricant.
Yeah.
It's giving that something to fiddle with in your hands.
It's an activity that doesn't involve interacting with other people. So, if you need that time away, go make a spider.
Yeah.
Go get some ice cream. We always have a topping station where everything's clearly marked out what it is and we don't mix anything. So
everything has their own designated spoons. Chopped
nuts. So, there's spoons for that. So anyone with a nut allergy, to stay away from that section. And again, it just gives you something to go and do without having to feel rude or getting into, a social anxiety state. So.
Because you're just doing something for yourself. And then you automatically have something to talk to with someone else. Mm-hmm. Oh, you have a spider, I see. What flavour combination did you have and how did it turn out? It might have been terrible.
Could have been. But you know what? You gave it a go.
But while we are talking about social anxieties and things to do, I want to bring up the topic of the environment of the ice cream social experiment. Hey, Jeb.
Yes.
Could you tell me about some of the things that we do to make the environment more accessible to people?
Absolutely. So, as you can see, we have this lovely blue lighting behind us. We have been using a venue called 171 Dorcas Street, and they have programmable lighting, and we always set it to this sort of late afternoon, bluey purple colour. So it's not bright, harsh lighting. It gives you the feeling of a nice afternoon. It's very soft as well. And we play soft jazz music behind the event. So it feels
just the right tempos to make it sound like
people are talking.
But they're not.
No.
So you don't have to worry about talking over people.
Exactly. So it's not a loud volume. It basically just fills in the blanks of conversation, and there's no words. So you don't have to be confused or assaulted by language that maybe you're not expecting.
No. Or potentially getting an earworm from some song and going, what is it?
Yeah. It's wait, hang on, pause this conversation. What? I just need to, what is this song?
Well, people go, I hate this song.
Yeah. So it's just random background jazz. Yeah. Actually from a company called Background Music. So we purchase a license for it every year, just basically for the weekend of the event. And yeah, it's a beautiful little mix that very inoffensive and at a very nice tempo.
Yeah. And it helps people relax.
It does. One of the other things that we do, which you may have noticed our little stickers here. So we have a check-in station when you come to the ice cream social. So it's not come in the door and figure it out. Mm-mm. So I'm usually there greeting everybody, checking everybody in, making sure that people have their tickets and that they know what's going on. So,
and I'm in the middle of it all to try to help you if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So you see me and then you go through the doors and you see Tom. We have these name pronoun stickers from -18. So they're another company we like to support when we can. And that just also helps with breaking the ice. So automatically, everybody's got their name, pronouns are visible. So there is no fear of being misgendered. The information is right there. And then I'll also explain, where the toilets are. And even though the toilets in that venue are technically gendered, we remove that. So we have a toilet that has a urinal in it and a toilet without. The one with the urinal is downstairs and the one without is upstairs.
We bring our own signs.
We do. We actually stick them over the top just so that we make sure that, if you have issue walking up and down stairs, you can still access a toilet. And it doesn't really matter who's in there with you, realistically. And we found that a lot of people were quite appreciative of that and didn't really have any kind of issue with that one's supposed to be the men's toilet
No.
and that's supposed to be the ladies. It doesn't matter.
I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 questions about it very early on, but then like half an hour or so into it, it was which toilets are available.
Exactly.
Which realistically isn't that the point.
Yeah. It's like,
What can I use?
yeah, what is not occupied currently?
The upstairs is free, downstairs is not. And that was the whole conversation. Mm-hmm. That was it.
That's good. Is there any...
Gender neutral toilets.
yes, please put them everywhere.
They're just toilets.
If I need to pee, just let me pee.
That's it, realistically. Like,
I don't mind.
it just needs to be there. That's all.
It's true.
Have
But is there any other environment things that I may have missed?
we spoken about the decor?
No.
We shall talk about the decor. I know this is a particular motif that's going on right now. I mean, we're recording the panel. We're trying to make it look as ice cream social experimenty as we can in this amount of space, which is not a lot for us to work with. We do have a huge amount of ice cream themed things. We do. Jeb, what are you drinking from?
An ice cream cup.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Normally these are on our tables with pens in them for make your own business card stations. Right. Just in case you have made a connection and you didn't have a business card with you or you forgot to bring them, you can just write down your details and hand it to whoever you need to.
Chuck you down your phone number.
Twitter handle.
Whatevs.
Website, whatever.
There's pens. And you're not going to have that thing of like, I
didn't bring a pen.
I don't have a pen. I don't have a paper. Oh no.
We provide that.
We do. Because we think about all of these little things. Yeah. Because that's what mine and Jeb's brains, like to do. We love to obsess over little details.
Yes.
Like these ice cream shadows, because we couldn't eliminate them. So we found a way to incorporate them into framing this sign behind us. Mm-hmm. You also may notice that our sign is actually put on top of a tiny ice cream truck.
Which normally has napkins in it.
Ice cream napkins.
Toby the cat doesn't come.
No.
But he's here to support us today.
By sleeping.
Yes.
We also have things like cake. Mrs. Cake. Ms. Cake.
Ms. Cake.
Our little hedges.
Yes.
To make it feel a bit more outsidey and garden party.
Yeah, so I guess that's another part of the environment that we do, is that we do a garden party type theme. So we have a lot of those like stretchy hedges.
Yeah.
We have big rugs that look like grass, but aren't grass because people, again, like myself, are allergic to like plasticky, nylon-y stuff.
And people trip on them because they can be very slippery.
Yes, so we bring our own carpet tape and tape down our rugs.
We do.
So that you can't trip over them.
And that, like, giving that outside-inside type feel, but also it's comfortable. Like, it's not... It's nature, and you feel connected to being in nature, but it's also not... Like, is there spiders in this?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about maybe being attacked by Australia's wildlife.
Or, like, just annoying wasps.
Yeah.
Or
flies.
Yeah, anything.
Anything.
That
would be horrible if you were outside. Ants. Yeah.
Ants.
So...
We have that... I don't want to say facade, because it's not the right word for it, but we have this homage to... A lovely afternoon.
Yeah.
There's warm, it's comfortable, there's people you're free to talk to, everything around you is provided for. You don't have to worry about how much cash you've got. You don't have to worry about who you're talking to or making any kind of social missteps, because we're doing everything we can to help you with that. This particular kind of light, this blue wave light, is actually been proven to make people feel happier. It's actually why you'll find it in a lot of subway stations all around the world. They have these type of coloured lights. It helps to make people feel calm, relaxed, and a little bit happier. So we try to incorporate these things. And they're just like little psychological I don't want to say tricks.
We're not trying to play you. We're trying to calm you down and make you feel comfortable.
It's like we're trying to incorporate ways of cheating to the end of your own social anxiety, calm down rituals.
Yeah.
Like if we can provide a shortcut to, being relaxed and calm and willing to, be open and talk to people and meet people or not, whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe you've gone there with friends because you just want to pick out an ice cream.
That's fine. As long as you're part of the indie games scene, that's cool.
Yeah.
We don't mind.
Not at all. Come on down.
Come on down. But, I mean, some of the other stuff that we do is, like, we have little erasers on the table. We have, like, little building blocks. If you need a fidget, it's there. There's always something.
Yeah.
We understand that social situations can be very stressful. We understand that, not meeting a whole lot of new people can be very overwhelming. So whatever we can provide, we do. And we always take our feedback very seriously. We've had a lot of really good feedback, the beer didn't match very well. Cool. Okay, well, we won't worry about that next time.
The other thing was people not understanding that everything was there. Like you buy it
fine.
with us, with the Tom and Jeb ice cream social experiment. When you've bought your ticket, you've bought full access.
Yep.
We're not trying to make money from this.
No.
We're trying to provide.
Yeah, we just want you to have a good time and be comfortable and welcomed and find connections and not have to worry about anything for, a couple of hours. If that means that, you get one bowl of ice cream and one drink and then you sit, on the floor, which we have people sit on the floor.
It's happened.
That's fine.
Because it was like sitting on the lawn.
Exactly. And, if you find comfort in just like running your hand on our grass rugs while you're talking to people, that's okay.
That's another
fine.
thing that we saw happening.
If that works for you, go for it.
If you want to dress up as being as extra as you want to be,
absolutely,
go for it.
I mean, we are literally wearing ice cream themed clothing right now, and this is how we dress for the ice cream social,
which is not that far off how we actually normally dress. It just happens to be ice cream themed.
Exactly.
But it's there. But you can also wear a t-shirt and
jeans. If you want to wear, I don't know, Ugg boots and trackies, go for it. If you want to dress up to the nines and wear a pink cowboy hat, go for it.
Yeah. You want to wear a ball gown. I won't recommend it because, ice cream.
Yeah, it might get stained. But you know what? Go for it.
Yeah.
And, if you are somebody that needs to wear headphones because you have auditory processing issues, then that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. There is no dress code. There is no expectation on presentation. You just need to come and have a good time. That's all.
mean,
you can come and have a bad time. I don't recommend that, but
outside of general public, we would ask that there are some clothes on you.
Oh, yeah. Just, wear something.
Yeah.
We don't want you to get arrested.
No.
But what that clothing looks like, wear your dressing gown, wear your pajamas.
Yeah, do it. Especially if we were doing the blanket fort one.
Yeah,
if you're in your PJs, I will be happier. we do these things because they're not being done.
Exactly.
And there's no reason to want to not. And from what we've seen, people want it. Like whether they know it or not, they enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelmingly positive responses to these sort of things.
We've actually been part of a lot of conversations on social media for people wanting events like this at different games conferences or things that aren't even a games conference. And these are people that don't know about the Ice Cream Social Experiment. That they're not even, Australian game developers. And they've seen a need for something like this.
Yeah.
And anybody that's come to one of our events is usually like, oh, wait, we have one of those in Australia. It's by these guys. Have a chat with them. And yeah, we always love to engage and talk about our wins and, can we bring this to you? Can we bring this to someone else?
Now, we are sort of a bit stuck with that at the moment because of... We all know why.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about it. We know why. But at the moment, the ice cream social experiment, and our dear friend Marcus, who isn't here today, we're it. This is fully self-funded for us.
Yeah.
The cost of the tickets is to cover our expenses, and that's it. We don't have big corporate sponsorships. We don't have massive business backing or anything. So we put this all on. Like, this is a really grassroots event. Like, it is. Everything you see here is things that we own.
Yep.
That we bring to people because we know that they want them. And we don't want you to have to think about these things. We just want you to experience it.
That's it.
You want to walk into the slumber party and everything's already decorated. You want to go to the Halloween party and everyone's in costume and there's UV lights up. You want to go to the tea party and there's a person dressed up as the Mad Hatter and handing out little finger sandwiches and things like that. Because you want that. You want that total experience. And this is the big thing. No one should feel that they can't go to it.
No.
It should be totally, absolutely inclusive. Like, I can't even begin to describe how awful the races have become. Like, race in the Melbourne Cup, Spring Cup Carnival and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it is just such a toxic environment for everybody. And it's awful. I used to compete in fashions in the field, but I can't do that anymore because it's terrible there. It's just people being horrible to each other, people being aggressive, people shouting.
And lots of drinking.
And gambling. And then there's just people just upset. And the anxiety of like, oh, sorry, I bumped into you. Is that going to
have a fight?
Is that going to cause a brawl? Are we going to be on the news now? Because as far as that's just going to happen. Because it does, unfortunately. So we take out the adult of these things. You take out the alcohol. You take out those, grown-up stressful situations. And you just make it people having fun. And that's everything. Like, we don't have to worry about being, billing ourselves as a hugely inclusive event because it is by its very nature absolutely inclusive to everyone.
Yeah.
To the best of our abilities.
Yes. Unfortunately, occasionally cost of ticket is a factor.
Yeah.
But it's still one of the cheaper ones. So, I think last time it was $35 for a ticket.
Yep.
And that was still all inclusive.
As much ice cream, potato jams as you can eat, drink, all the sodas, everything.
We had a coffee cart as well. Like, whatever. It was all there.
Even the coffee cart was to help to build communities in Fiji.
Yeah, so we used Co-Grown Coffee, who are a non-for-profit, and it's actually Vanuatu.
Oh, Vanuatu.
That's okay.
Sorry.
And yeah, so they exist to help with a particular town in Vanuatu create basically their own sustainable income. So they built like a fishery for them, which was almost basically just a hole in the ground with fish in it. But that's all it needed to be.
And they didn't have that.
No, and all of a sudden this town had a source of income. They could go and sell the fish at the markets and get something. And it was in response to the hurricanes that happened.
But the point of the matter is that even we have coffee. If you want to have a cup of coffee, guess what?
A cup of coffee.
You want a cup of tea? They do those too.
They do.
Hot chocolate?
Yep.
Everything.
Everything.
We cater to everything that we can. We don't want to railroad people into what we're going to give you. We want to, and we approach this ourselves. How would we want this to be run? How do we want to walk into this event and how things to be? What's it going to feel like to walk through? Where are people going to congregate? Like, we do have places to sit. Mm-hmm. It's not a huge amount of places to sit.
No.
Which, that's subject to the venue.
Exactly.
But it's in such a way that there is still a lot of space for people to walk around. Mm-hmm. There's ample places for people to lean up on because, you don't want to be standing all the time.
Yeah.
But it encourages people to move about, to see other people, to talk to other people.
Yeah.
And it really is just people being people at the end of the day. And because you're all sharing this experience, something novel, something fun, something naive, something that's like that nostalgia for something that didn't actually happen.
Yes.
Bless. You get to share and experience that with all of these people, and you instantly have a shared connection. So we find that when people are talking about the ice cream social experiment as an event they've been to, there's a sense of camaraderie and community.
Yeah.
Like a music festival. Like you went to Burning Man that year? Wow.
Yeah.
But without all the drugs.
Yeah.
But it's intimate and it's fun and it's just so welcoming. Like everybody, as soon as they like put that little hat on of like, I'm at an ice cream party.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcoming.
Yeah.
Everybody's a volunteer all of a sudden to help make the party fun.
Yeah. And to tell people about it and, spread the word, which we're so grateful for. Another, like on that note, I think another massive difference between year 1 and year 2. So year 1, obviously, we hadn't run this before. Nobody really knew what to expect. People came in like dribs and drabs and, I don't think we ever had a full house of people.
No.
Year 2, pretty much everyone was lined up waiting for 3 o'clock when the doors opened so that they could come in. And that just, filled us with such a warmth and, a knowledge that we are doing something that people look forward to.
And appreciate and want.
Yeah.
I mean, another big thing that we do with the Ice Cream Social Experiment is that it is a long event.
Yes.
So it's not limited to a couple of hours in the evening or a lunchtime thing. We start it at a very particular time for a reason. So we start it just after lunchtime.
Yeah.
So like you can go...
Mid-afternoon.
Yeah, early to mid-afternoon. So that if you've seen people for lunch or you've gone to a panel during the day or something like that, it's a good place for you to go to wind down from that with all of these social crutches and ease provided that you don't have to worry about anything. You step in the doors and it's done.
And so we run it for about 5 hours, so 3 till 8. It gives time for people to wander off to go to dinner or, come in and out. You might only have an hour to come.
Yeah.
That's okay. You might have an hour to come at the start and then you've got to go somewhere and then you want to come back.
And guess what? That's fine.
That's fine.
Because you've already paid.
And you've got your ticket and I'm there. So I know that you've been already. Yeah. And if I try and check you in again, it'll tell me you already checked in. So... people, it just gives people a bit more freedom. So even in that space, you might still need to I need to go outside, get some air, or I need to just go stand in some real trees for a minute to ground myself. That's fine.
You need to go out and vape. That's cool.
Go for it. Go, come back. That's okay.
Go have a meal.
Yeah.
Go and talk to somebody. Let's say you've met someone there and you're like, this is great. I really want to get to know you. Let's go for not one of these coffees, but another coffee somewhere else.
Yeah. And
then we can come back for ice cream after.
So I guess that's another part of this that a lot of events don't do is that you can go and come back.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And we never expect people to be there for the full 5 hours. You know, that's a
lot
long
of
time.
There's a lot of ice cream,
It's a lot
too.
of ice cream. But a lot of people do. And, you know, thank you. But
We're glad to have you.
absolutely. But having it in that sort of late afternoon to early evening, it's sort of 8 o'clock is a really good time to, you know, go out and have dinner with people if you want to. Or, you know, if you've got to have an early night as well, you know, it still gives you time to go unwind, go to bed.
Maybe you're setting up for something the next day.
Absolutely.
Or you want to go out and party afterwards.
Yeah.
That's an option.
Again, you know, we're not anti-alcohol. We just don't provide it at our event. If you want to go out and have some drinks with the people that you've just met, that's fine. We've given you the time to do that. Yeah. So,
I mean, don't get drunk and come.
No.
Because, like...
No.
We're providing a comfortable, inclusive space for people who don't feel like drinking.
Yeah.
At that time. That doesn't mean you can't drink before, you can't drink after, or we shame you for either of those things. But if you rock up...
and you're drunk...
then you
unfortunately, well...
It's really selfish.
And we haven't ever had to ban anyone from the events, but...
we will.
Well, we wouldn't let you in.
No.
Because that's not fair.
Well, that brings us back to CLMs.
Oh, yes.
CLMs is a really great little acronym that I learned about. Initialization, actually. It stands for Career Limiting Maneuver.
Yes.
Now, ask yourself, have you ever seen someone do something to really embarrass themselves in front of some very important people and go, ooh, that wasn't a good idea? Those things happen a lot around alcohol.
Yes.
Particularly when you have people like uni students or recent graduates.
People who are nervous.
Around an open bar, which many industry events provide as basically like par for the course. So what happens is you got all these bright young things going out and burning out real fast. Because you know what? If I was a uni student and someone said, hey, open bar, I probably would have made a goose out of myself too.
Yeah. So, yeah, we also want to try and limit those maneuvers.
Like, if you come to our event, you've got people there that are going to be supportive of you. They're going to want to meet you. They're going to want to talk to you. We've met a huge amount of people that have had such a great time talking to. Literally people from all over the world.
Yeah.
Have come to this thing. I've met some amazing people and developers because of the Ice Cream Social Experiment. And I can't wait to meet more. But you know what? All those people are willing to help you sort of stay on an even keel. Because, like, you can identify Jeb or I with our various attires. We don't separate ourselves from the people at the party. Like, I'm in there having a great time too.
Yeah.
I'm having ice cream when I get a chance. I'm talking to people because I like to. That's what I do. But because there's no separation between us, the hosts, the curators, I like to think of us as the curators of an experience, and everybody who's there, like, we have the same name tags. Yeah. We have, like, we're wearing clothes that we like to wear.
There is no uniform. It's not officially, you know, this is Tom and Jeb. Don't talk to them because, you know, they're busy. No, we're not too busy.
No, we're not.
We want to hear from you. If you have a question, if you have an issue, if you have anything, like, we're there to help the whole time. So. Yeah.
And I actually had in 2019, I had a lengthy discussion with someone who was actually feeling quite anxious because they had come on their own. But talking to them, just discussing video games and all this sort of stuff, we ended up talking with 3 or 4 other people. I happened to have not eaten, so I almost fainted because I had been running around all day. And someone said, hey, Tom, you need to sit down and you need to have a Coke and you need to have some blood sugar in you because you're about to faint. And that's because that person, who was just an attendant, helped me, the host, because there wasn't a social barrier between us.
Yeah.
We were all just there, having fun and taking care of each other. And I haven't found a reason to not do more events like the Ice Cream Social Experiment.
No, not at all. There's so many other events, and not even just like games industry, but like queer space events. You know, there is also a lot of party culture in there, but not everybody that, you know, identifies as queer or LGBTQIA plus. It's a mouthful. Not everybody who identifies as those things wants to be in that party culture. That's not to say that there isn't a place for that, and as well as there isn't a place, as well as to say that there isn't a place for networking event at bars in the games industry. But people need alternatives.
What does party culture actually mean? Party culture has become synonymous with binge drinking and substance abuse and really bad behavior in general.
But again, not to shame those things, you know, there are people that thrive in those environments.
You do you. Have fun and be safe.
But I'm 34 and I'm tired. I want to have a mid-afternoon relaxed drink of coffee with, you know, a small handful of people and get to know you that way. I want to do a workshop. I want to, I don't know, meet over like finger sandwiches and
do tea tastings. That's a thing.
Yeah. I don't have the energy to go out and party anymore or ever. I never did.
So why can't our party culture include things like slumber party culture?
Yeah.
Or or a garden party culture.
Yeah.
Or maybe an ice cream social. Excuse me for that. But this is look at this. Look at it. It's fun. Look at it. Look at my shirt. Its sticker comes off again. But I'm having a great time. I'm really happy with what I'm wearing. Jeb's fantastic.
You can't see my skirt, but you know,
I got
ice cream earrings.
Ice cream socks.
And it's fun.
It's fun. And I don't feel any shame or embarrassment at being as extra as I want to be, because I'm just purely having fun being myself in an environment that is incredibly welcoming.
And I think that's the summary of this whole thing, is that you need to create an environment that is welcoming to your demographic, including our cat, that is inclusive of whatever needs they might have. So, you know, do they need a space to chill out? Do they need name tags with pronouns? My recommendation for both of those things is yes, absolutely. Do you need to worry about food and dietary requirements? Do you need to worry about moonlighting? Do you need to think about, you know, the time of day that your event is happening?
Things like accessibility, cost, as you mentioned, Jeb, dietary requirements. The most important thing for any event, well, I think, for an event that I would run, that I would want to go to, is that you throw your arms open, wide. You don't give yourself tunnel vision and hone in on one specific demographic. You hone in on a specific feeling that you want to give to people and figure out a way to deliver that to everybody. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't matter if it's an inclusive LGBTQPAI+. I think I got that one. Doesn't matter what part of the rainbow demographic you're trying to build yourself to, because it is fully inclusive. And yes, I do believe that there is a place for exclusive inclusivity, because people do need safe places.
It's true.
But this is also a safe space.
But there's no reason to not make that safe space inclusive to every person in there.
Yeah.
So the biggest points are just think about every aspect.
Yeah.
And make sure that the demographic you are billing your event to doesn't exclude anybody.
Don't assume. Think about not just yourself or people you know. Think about the maybes. Think about the one person who really wants to go who's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Think about the one person who would just die to be at an ice cream social who's blind. Like, have you thought about these things? We try our best to be as inclusive as possible. We try to make sure that the venues we select is navigable. It is accessible.
It's easy to get to,
Is it near public transport?
Is it near a location that your demographic knows? So 171 is near the arcade, which, it's the hub of indie games in Melbourne. If you are a game dev in Melbourne, you probably know where the arcade is. So.
And if you're visiting Melbourne because of indie game devs, you probably know someone who's interned or phrased
who has worked there.
Yeah. That just means you've got bearings.
Mm-hmm.
It means you don't have to be worried about being completely lost.
No.
It means that you've got comfort, you've got accessibility, you've got direction, and you know that when you come into this event, hopefully you come to an event like the ones we run, that it's a place to be.
Yeah.
And you can come and go because we're not going to turn you away.
No, unless you're disorderly.
Yeah. Because we're welcoming you with fully open arms.
Yeah.
Because you're a person.
And we've thought about you. And, we want you to come in and have a good time.
And if we haven't thought about you,
let us know. We need to know.
It's not because we don't. It's not because we're not trying to think about you.
Maybe,
trying to not think about you, but
but maybe it's just something that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
We do our very, very best, but there are still limitations to our knowledge. So
it's an experiment. It's a work in progress.
It is.
We started with the hypothesis of we can do parties without alcohol and they can be awesome. And we've proved that point.
Yeah.
But now we're just trying to figure out new formulas, how to expand it, how to reach new demographics, how to incorporate more.
But without taking away or putting a detriment to what we've already established.
Yeah. If it comes to a point where we find that the event is becoming too big, too busy or anything like that, we'll cap it.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll run 3 of them instead.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you to miss out.
No. And a big part of our event is that the numbers are limited.
Yeah.
We want it to be an easy event where you don't have to worry about being around a lot of people. So,
Yeah, but if we sell out an event on day 1 of ticket sales, I'll be talking to people and I'll be finding a way to get a second day.
Yeah.
Because
people, you shouldn't miss out.
No. And we do what we do because we want it to be as fun as possible. And we do have to limit numbers because otherwise we're just not going to be able to service that many people. There's venue capacities we have to worry about. But I don't want to turn people away, no matter who they are. So if 500 people want to come to an event at an 80-person place, I'll run 4 of them. And I'm sorry if some people have to miss out, but that's what I can do.
Yeah.
I'll do everything that I can.
Yeah. Or we'll actually run, online versions.
Yeah.
And, we want to bring this to as many people as we can. And there should be no reason that you don't get to come. So,
if you want to figure out a way of having an ice cream social experiment, I know 2 people you can talk to.
Yeah.
But we want this to make people to know that anytime you see this phrase at an event, you know that we've been thinking about you. And you know that we're welcoming and inclusive. Every person there is going to be welcoming, inclusive, and accepting. Because we embrace the hypocrisy of tolerance. The only things we do not tolerate is intolerance.
Yes.
And that's it. Everyone else, come on down. We've got ice cream.
So I hope this has helped a few of you understand what an inclusive event looks like, things to think about, things to incorporate in the next event you run. is as welcome and inclusive as the ice cream social experiment.
Thanks.